Welcome to the Boxing Talk Show. Fair but firm with the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez and co-host John Zamel for all of Las Vegas.
Come on, guys. Let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez. Fair but firm.
Hey guys, welcome to the Fair but Firm Show here with Joe Cortez and John Zimmel. This is a knockout show.
Oh, baby.
This show is really about what happened Saturday night. All around the world. The punch that was heard around the world. Andy Ruiz. Unheard of 6 months ago. Andy Ruiz was really a fighter that looked like overweight.
You can say it. He is.
Overweight and undertrained. But he came in there with some speed and some good boxing techniques. I mean, this guy, John, when he went down in that third round, I said, oh, here it is.
Yep, it looked like the beginning of the end, man. Took that uppercut, took that left hook.
I said, here's another palooka. Mm-hmm. But you know what? He came back from the knockdown. He came down with the heart of a champion. It reminded me of some of those Rocky movies.
Oh, baby, that was exactly like a Rocky movie,
then
yeah.
He gets up, then he put the other guy to put the champion down twice.
You know, they called him the Mexican Rocky before the fight even happened. They said, can he get it done? He's the Mexican Rocky. And then he got knocked down in the third. First time in his career, by the way, that he's ever touched the canvas.
I mean, he took a solid left hook there.
Oh, yeah. After following an uppercut, which are Joshua's two biggest punches, his right uppercut and his left hook. And he looked like, okay, I see what's going on.
I thought he had him. I thought he got Andy Ruiz. He got it done because Andy is so short.
Yeah.
But, Andy Ruiz has good boxing skill. He woke up.
And then Joshua went in for the kill.
Yeah.
Landed another big right hand, which we all kind of thought, all right, here it goes, beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Andy Ruiz ate that like he eats every other 5,000 calories a day and just started throwing big bombs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, 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 bam. Combinations.
And that's what I say. You throw combinations. If fighters out there watching, combination is your best punches because you're throwing out one and waiting or two and waiting. You bang, 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 bang. The guy's all over the place. Then you can use the angles, get around them. Before you know it, you got him down again.
But since we're going into coach mode, defensively, if someone's throwing a lot of combinations at you, is it better to keep your head standing there covered up like Anthony Joshua did, or should you move your head around like Tyson Fury does?
Well, you got to move the head. I would say if you're moving target, there's less chance of you getting hit.
Absolutely.
But if you're going to stand there and keep your hands up, I mean, the left hooks are going to get around you or the right hooks are going to get around you. I mean, Anthony Joshua didn't look good. As a matter of fact, he even looked wasted. He looked like he was
punch drunk. Yeah,
he was, and I mean, he was
wobbly from the third.
He was fizzling out in the first round.
Yeah, he was out of breath.
He had
in the
no
first.
legs. He went back to his corner. Said, what happens? Sometimes these fighters overtrain, but you know what, John? I think what happens is sometimes these fighters. They got so much muscle.
He was muscle bound, man. They say that all that muscle and carrying, all the oxygen has to go in there, and you find yourself out of breath one round in against that guy.
And when you start getting with some punches, you tying up. When you tying them more, you kind of like burning more energy. And then by the 5th or 6th round, he was like out of his feet. When he got stopped, I mean, Mike Griffith did a good job in stopping it because a lot of people say, well, Joe.
Let me ask you, being our resident, referee expert, this is what we do here. Yeah. You're the one few people in the world who can confidently answer this question. Do you feel like the fight was stopped early?
Well, Mike Griffith, I mean, this guy had gone down already 4 times total. Mm-hmm. Twice in the third round.
Twice in the 7th.
And twice in the 7th. And he asked, you okay? The guy says, yeah, but he didn't like the body language. Sometimes we ask fighters, you okay? They say, yeah. He said, nah.
He told him to fight, and he just kept his hands there. He goes, yeah, I'm coming.
With the first
I'll be there in a minute.
The first knockdown, he said, you okay? He put his hands up. That let me know.
He kept smiling, but
that lets me know that you're okay. But he said, you okay?
He's lounging, brother. He looked like he was in a pool.
You okay? Yeah. And referee said, nah, I said. And you know what? Maybe it was the best thing he did because, I mean, he had gone down 4 times. If something bad would have happened, a tragedy, something bothered, they would tell the referee, Mike Griffith, Canadian.
Should have stopped it after the 4th knockdown when he couldn't come back in. Blah, blah, blah.
He said, well, you let it continue for. I'd rather stop at a punch too soon than a punch too late.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that the Brits are very upset. Everybody was upset because Anthony Joshua started to be a fan favorite.
Absolutely. He was considered the second biggest star in boxing.
Yeah, not only in Great Britain, but also in the United States. And I can feel like, my friend Dan Hewitt, watching out there from Into Boxing and
Boxing
main event boxing.
Yeah, I don't know what they call it.
But I know you guys were kind of shocked, but I kind of felt a little bit about. First, I was saying that Anthony Joshua is going to take away this kid, Andy Ruiz. He's unknown, but watching Andy Ruiz a couple of days before the fight, I started changing because I saw him working with his trainer on the bags, on the pads, and watching the speed. quick punches and punching power. Then
he looked like Miguel Tyson with an extra 40 pounds of burritos in him.
I thought it was Dan Hewitt in there for a minute. Dan, yeah, I said it. I said that, Dan, get in shape. You're a champion. You can do it. If he did it, you can do it too. My man, Dan Hewitt.
Dan, the new heavyweight. That's great. That's great. Hey, let's talk about how we got here.
Yeah.
What was originally supposed to happen? It was supposed to be Anthony Joshua's big debut in America. Let's talk about it. We're building up the Wilder Joshua super fight. This is marination. This is straight out of the Maypac playbook. So they said, all right, what do we got to do? We got to build a name in America. America's where the money is. Let's go to U.S. and fight a U.S. fighter. So they signed up to fight Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Now, Jarrell Miller failed 3 different drug tests for 3 different drugs. Jarrell Miller was on more stuff than a pharmacy, Joe. I don't know what to tell you. And so then what happens? Then they send out a casting call. They offered Luis Ortiz some money. Luis Ortiz, we've heard a million stories. Was his promoter, his manager, this. Either way, he didn't take the fight. They were down to basically Michael Hunter, who's a blown-up cruiserweight, or Andy Ruiz, who's a blown-up everything. And they ended up choosing Andy Ruiz, who just came off of camp fighting Dimitrenko.
Yeah, but what happened was that Andy Ruiz sent an Instagram to Eddie Hearns.
There we go.
Tell him, listen, you know what? Baby Miller is, I will give a better fight than anybody else out there. He said, I'll even beat Anthony Joshua. And Eddie Hearns said, you know what? I'm going to give the guy a shot.
You know why? Because he's American, which is what they wanted. They wanted that U.S. fan base. And he was just coming off of camp. He was able to do short notice, and they knew he could put up a good fight because of his quick hands. Styles make fights, and when you got quick hands going up against a slow starter like Joshua, you have yourself a fight. And that's what I predicted was a good fight in the first 3 rounds. And then I thought Joshua would start to take over. And that's why when he hit him with that uppercut and left hook, we all thought, oh, here it is. But we didn't expect Andy Ruiz to have the heart of a lion.
Yeah.
And he came back and he just showed what he had there, baby.
And not only that, but, I wonder sometimes if having a super heavyweight division.
You thought about this?
I mean, this guy,
plus 250 plus?
Yeah, because, Anthony Joshua came in at 243, and Andy Ruiz came in at, what,
264?
264. Fight time is probably about
all muscle.
Yeah, all muscle. I thought he had a couple of push-ups hanging around his waist. But I'll tell you, I give Andy Ruiz a lot of credit because of what he accomplished. He just discombobulated the heavyweight division. Everything like everybody.
I love it though. It's good for heavyweights, don't you think?
It's good.
Parity's good, right?
Yeah. But I remember back in 1960, Floyd Patterson was heavyweight champion of the world. There was an unknown fighter named Ingemar Johansson. He was
How you spell Ingemar?
Ingemar.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. He spelled it Jose.
Yeah.
Andy. Andy. But anyway, Ingemar Johansson defeated. He stopped Floyd Patterson. Had Patterson down 7 times.
7 times.
7 times in one round. Back in those days. But anyway, he ended up becoming he was a Swedish fighter, become heavyweight champion of the world. And the same year, Floyd Patterson come back with a rematch and knocks him out and regained his championship.
Well, we've seen this before.
But can this happen? Yeah, where did it happen?
We saw it with Nassim Rahman versus Lennox Lewis. We've seen it several times. Or Lennox Lewis versus Oliver McCall.
That's right.
You can get knocked out and come back.
Even Ali, when he lost to Frazier, came back. But being knocked out, that's a big difference. You fight fighters out there. Losing the fight is one thing, but getting knocked out is another. Subconsciously, when you go back into that ring, are you going to come back the same? Patterson did it. He gained his title back.
I think also not all knockouts are created equal. Yeah. Now, if you take a fight like Dominic Breazeale versus Deontay Wilder, he got hit with one clean shot and got put out. Anyone can get hit with one shot, but when you get knocked down 4 times and you get stopped, you're in the corner stopped and you're in a daze. I think that's a different animal, and that's a little harder to come back from when you get thoroughly outboxed and battered. It's a little bit different than there's been a lot of comparisons made between the Buster Douglas Mike Tyson fight and this fight, and I'd like to say 2 things. One, I understand that it was 42-1 versus 11-1. That is a staggering difference, and I also understand that Mike Tyson's probably the biggest celebrity the boxing seen since Muhammad Ali. He was an icon. He was a moment. He was larger than life. So I understand that those 2 things happened, but I'm going to argue that this was a bigger upset and a bigger deal than that fight for 2 reasons. One, it didn't happen in Japan when no one was watching. It happened in Madison Square Garden here in America with the whole world's eyes on it. And 2, he didn't just get caught. He got beat, and he got battered, and he got stopped. And that's what made this upset so compelling.
Yeah, when you get fights like that, you get these heavyweight fighters, they get knocked out, come back. Sometimes it's They're never the same again. And I remember watching so many great fighters. Even Joe Louis, going back, I'm talking about the history of boxing. Joe Louis, when he got knocked out by Max Schmeling,
yeah.
And then the rematch right away, I think it was in the first round, Joe Louis knocked out Max Schmeling. But I mean, when you get knocked out pretty bad, some guys don't come back the same.
Exactly. Now, that's the question here, right?
Yeah.
Is Anthony Joshua like Joe Louis, like Lennox Lewis, like all the Lewises? Is he like these guys who can get knocked out and come back? We've seen him get knocked down and come back. But can he get knocked out and come back? Or is he similar to other fighters that we've seen, fighters that they call front runners? I'm not going to call any names, but people out there who, when they're ahead, when they're in charge, when they're up on the cards, when they're against the guy they know they're beating, they look unstoppable. They look unbeatable. They're world beaters. But as soon as they find themselves in deep water, all of a sudden they're drowning. Which one of these are we going to find out about Anthony Joshua? Because if he loses the rematch here, Joe, his career's over. I mean, it's kind of done.
It's going to be hard for him to come back.
But if he wins the rematch, he's back on track.
He's back on track.
It's one bad blip. Everybody
we seen it happen before. I mean, it happened to Lennox Lewis when he got stopped by Hasim Rahman. And then Hasim Rahman, the rematch, he got knocked out, of course, which I was the referee that fight.
There we go. Okay, I got another question for you. And I don't mean to rile up any feathers on this one, but since we're talking about fights where you were the referee, I think you can speak with more experience than just about anybody. And I'm speaking specifically to the UK fans when I talk about this here. We saw Prince Naseem Hamed. He looked unbeatable. He was unstoppable. He was as exciting as you've ever seen. He's in his bubble in the UK.
Right. And
then he comes to America, fights Marco Antonio Barrera in a fight where you were the referee and got exposed. We saw Ricky Hatton. Looked unbeatable in the UK, in his little bubble, fighting UK fighters, fighting everybody. Then he comes to the United States in a fight against Floyd Mayweather in which you were the referee and got exposed. Now, is this a case like those two other cases where a fighter stays in Britain, fights in his bubble, fights amongst his fans, in his world, in his arena, and then comes to the U.S. and gets exposed? Or is this just one little blip on an otherwise stellar career?
Well, you know what? It happens. I mean, these guys, people say, well, I think we got it done. But it happened to Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson was bumping everybody off, I mean, when Buster Douglas beat him, then he got exposed. Exactly. That everybody started, say, I can fight, I can knock him out.
Exactly. Once that fear factor's gone.
Yeah. And it happened. So now I think that what happened now Saturday night, Anthony Joshua, I think he's got to really go back to the drawing board and show that it was an off night for him. And he said, one thing I liked about Anthony Joshua, he was a gentleman.
He was such a humble.
Good sportsman. He was very humble, giving credit to Anthony Ruiz. And I say, you see, that's a champion.
No, honest to God, I cannot speak higher of how he handled this post-loss. He said, talk to Ruiz. He stopped his dad from going after Eddie Hearn, said, no, this was my fight. I lost this. He didn't make any excuses. He said, nothing was wrong with me. I didn't underestimate him. Nothing. He just was the better man tonight. I've never seen somebody so humble in losing. And I don't think that's necessarily even the standard you should hold anybody to. It's understandable to get knocked out and be a little erratic afterwards.
And actually, he wasn't really knocked out. He was stopped by the referee, the TKO. And I tell you, if you look at some of those knockdowns, he got hit with a punch, and he was a little wobbly,
he looked like Bambi out there.
But he also got kind of pushed as well. I mean, the referee could have said, no, that was a push, and said it was a knockdown. But he was more wobbly leg.
He was leaning on Ruiz a few times, and Ruiz kind of pulled out the chair.
Kind of like backed off.
Excuse me.
And he fell down. But I'm not trying to give any excuses for Anthony Joshua. I just think that he used good sportsmanlike.
I think it's fair to say
he used good sportsmanlike conduct. He was a little bit of concussive episode when he got stopped. When the referee asked him, Mike Griffith, "Are you okay to continue?" And he went like this, but his body language, he was draped on the ropes on the corner there. You got to come back the other time. He got knocked down. He put his hands up. He was ready to go, and the referee let it go.
He was done, man. He had no legs.
And maybe it was best because you know what? He could have got hurt seriously, like I said before. This way he'll come back another day. He could probably conquer the heavyweight title back.
Oh, absolutely.
But he definitely got to go to the drawing board and see what did we do wrong. What can we do to offset Andy Ruiz, who's John Ruiz was the other heavyweight, Puerto Rican heavyweight.
Exactly.
John Ruiz, and this is Andy Ruiz. So you got two Hispanic heavyweight champions.
The only two ever.
John Ruiz from Puerto Rico, actually from Boston, but Puerto Rican descent.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And now Andy Ruiz, Mexican.
Mexicali,
yeah. So he's, I mean, it's good for boxing. I mean, the Mexicans are still, I think they're still celebrating.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Cervezas are still popping, Papa,
They still haven't stopped. And they're going to have a big parade for him. I think Andy Ruiz he could probably run for president now.
He could probably win president of Mexico right now. Yeah, I couldn't. I absolutely. I'll tell you something.
But
I could not agree more with what you just said. Because on one hand, yes, Anthony Joshua does need to prove the mental toughness aspect. Like I was just saying, he's got to prove that he's got the spirit to come back, because we don't know what he has coming off a knockout.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he also has to go back to the drawing board from a strategy perspective. We saw this. Now, when he fought Takam, he didn't look great after the Klitschko fight. When he fought Povetkin, he kept getting hit by right hands. He didn't have that head movement, but he was able to win both those fights. When he fought Parker, he wasn't able to put Parker away. Now, but because he kept winning, he didn't feel the need to re-strategize. We saw the same thing with Wilder against Ortiz. Wilder has some clear fundamental deficiencies, but because he beat Ortiz eventually, he didn't address them. But they were exposed once again in the Fury fight. Now, after that draw, he went back to the drawing board and was able to come out a different fighter with better fundamentals in the Brazil fight. Are we going to see an Anthony Joshua with more refined fundamentals and a bigger heart and more motivation? Or are we going to see a guy coming out hoping that he's going to get carried again like he has just by his physical attributes?
Well, what's going to happen now, there was a clause on the contract for a rematch.
Yes, sir.
So the rematch is going to make him for later this year. And we're going to see what Joshua going to come back with. But they should watch Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Watch Tyson Fury.
Move your head.
Wait, move your head. And Tyson Fury.
Watch Mike Tyson.
Yeah, move the head. That's why Mike Tyson beat some of these guys.
Look at Muhammad Ali.
Mike Tyson wasn't that big, but Mike Tyson would move the head, and throw rapid punches. Bang, 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 bang. 4, 5, 6 punches. And these guys were trying to cover up here. The punches coming from the angles. They were hitting from both
That's
different
how
angles.
you counteract combinations.
And not just that one punch, that 1-2 punch. Throw a flurry of punches, 5, 6, 7, 8 punches. They got covering up. You look good. You got the angle. You jump this way. You jump that way. And before you know,
and that's how you win rounds too.
Yeah.
Because the judge sees the other guy covering up. They see you throwing flurries. All of a sudden, guess what? 10-9, your favorite.
I've been telling that to fight. I'm an advisor for Devin Haney, the up and coming rising star, the lightweight division.
Absolutely is.
Who won last week on the zone. You guys saw him there at Great Britain here in the United States. Devin Haney, I told him before the fight, got to throw a flurry of punches. And I've been telling a lot of fighters, if you throw a flurry of punches, volume, you're going to offset your opponent. He got to cover up. And you may throw 8 punches and you connect maybe with 2 or 3. But it looks good. You're going to get the judges to say, well, the busier of the two is this fighter throwing these combinations. And you can connect more. And that's what Andy Ruiz did Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
He threw 5, 6, 7, 8 punches. When he saw he caught him, he had him hurt.
Fast combinations.
Fast combinations. I was saying to myself, well, Andy Ruiz got to be careful in this 7th round.
He went in for the kill. And look.
I said, if he can gas out.
Yes.
He could gas out, but he did. He may be looking.
He kind of gassed. He seemed in the 4th round. He seemed like where he could have gone in for the kill. He didn't, because he didn't really seem to have the same level of power. But I'll say in the 6th round, Anthony Joshua seemed to kind of get his legs back. He seemed to throw some big shots. He started throwing a lot more power. He looks better than he had since the 1st.
Yeah.
He looked really good. He was throwing some big power shots. And it looked like, okay, now he recovered. Andy Ruiz messed up. He let him recover. But Andy Ruiz was like, this is my night. I'm the new heavyweight champion of the world. And he's put those combinations back together, got him back on his horse, got him back on his bike, and had him back on his heels. And that was just how you do it.
Yeah, the good thing that Joshua has for himself right now, he's 29 years of age. He's still young, so is Andy Ruiz.
Yes.
29. And Joshua only had that one loss in 22 fights. So it's not that bad. Andy Ruiz has a loss when he lost, was it last year?
Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
That was a decision loss, though, and a lot of people thought controversial.
Yes. Yeah, controversial loss. And I said to myself, if he lost to Joseph Parker, but he was very competitive. And
Joseph Parker's the only one who wasn't knocked out by Anthony Joshua. So they have that similar opponent where they both were able to go the distance.
Right. And so Joseph Parker's still in the mix, all right?
Yeah, and he just signed with DAZN. So, or I believe a Matchroom. But either way, on the DAZN deal, yeah.
Well, I think Eddie Hearn's going to need another heavyweight in there. Because after losing,
he's completely out of the heavyweight scene right now.
Eddie Hearn, I feel sorry. That he has such a great prospect there in the heavyweight division, undisputed champion. The IBA, IBO, WBA, WBA, IBF, WBC. Deontay Wilder.
That's Deontay Wilder's belt.
He owns that green belt, that WBC belt, and it's going to be interesting now to see what Wilder must be thinking. Who do I fight next?
Well, that's one thing I want to say, because Deontay Wilder, now a lot of people are saying all that money got flushed down the drain for a super fight. I don't think so. I think you have 2 possibilities here following this rematch. You have an Anthony Joshua who has now gone to the drawing board, shown his heart, shown his passion, and beats Andy Ruiz in the rematch and shows that he's able to contend with the speed. Because let's be honest, Deontay Wilder is a fast man. He doesn't throw a lot of combinations, but if Anthony Joshua couldn't handle Ruiz's speed, he wouldn't be able to handle Wilder's big power speed. And that would mean that, now knowing what we know, knowing the exposure that his chin got and his inability to handle speed got and his lack of head movement got, we know that would have been different. Now, if he's able to counteract all those things, come back, beat Ruiz, and handle his speed, now we have an even more enormous super fight against Wilder. Now, on the other hand, if he loses to Ruiz, now you have Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr., the Mexican-American superstar with 3 belts versus Deontay Wilder, the Alabama-born superstar with 1 belt, going up in an American super fight, one being the kind, gentle, affable, chubby, smiley Mexican hero versus Deontay Wilder, who does not embody any of those traits. He can play the heel, as we've talked about many times on this show. And then you have another super fight. So I don't think Deontay Wilder lost any money here. I think he's going to end up in a good spot.
Well, Anthony Wilder, Deontay Wilder, he has a questionable chin because don't forget when he got tagged by Luis
but he stayed
Ortiz,
on his feet.
He got his feet, but one thing, you don't have muscles on your chin.
You can't build that.
You can't build that. And this is why sometimes with these guys, as big as they are, like Joshua, big, strong, they look like unbeatable.
They look like a god. He looks amazing.
They look like Hercules.
He really did.
They come out all these muscle bound, but there was no muscles on the chin.
Nope.
You see it?
No muscles on the chin.
Once you get clipped there, boom. Good night, sweet prince.
Absolutely. But there is good news for you UK fans, because as bad as your hero Anthony Joshua looked, there's a man named Callum Smith who was on that undercard who fought a guy that he never should have fought, let's be honest. But he looked good. He looked exciting. He looked fascinating, and he did it here in America. Now, he's been calling out Canelo for a while now, and they're both signed to DAZN. That's a fight that can happen. Do you think there's a chance that fight, looks good? Do you think?
I like to see it happen.
I'd like to see it happen too.
There's not really that many fighters for Canelo Alvarez with any top competition.
Honestly, though, I don't know anyone that can. I mean, who else could beat Canelo at this point, just based on the landscape? There's no one at 160 who can do it. At 168, the only guy I could see is Callum Smith, because Benavidez isn't old enough yet.
I keep saying, man, I'm making that comeback.
You coming back?
I'm coming back.
Are you gonna fight him at 160 or
165? Because I gotta make sure I gotta take off 10 pounds, make it to 165. I mean, the money is out there, guys. It's money like it's never been before in the history of boxing.
Yes, sir.
They're throwing money around like you never seen before.
Andy Ruiz is about to find that out.
I mean, getting $365 million for signing up with DAZN.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money guaranteed.
That's not chump change.
No, sir.
That's good money. It makes you the debt come back to boxing.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Hey, let me ask you this though. This is an important one, because we've been talking a lot about Joshua. A lot. Andy Ruiz now just made $7 million.
Yeah.
He made more money than he's ever made in his entire life by a lot.
Right.
And now he's about to make way more money in the rematch. Now, we've seen guys that they taste success for the first time, notably Roberto Duran after he beat Leonard,
right.
And they go back home and they get fat and they get lazy, and they who's it that famously said that it's hard to get up out of silk sheets and go for a run every morning?
Yeah.
How is he going to be able to handle success? Is he going to remain as motivated?
Well, I think he's going to be. He has a different mentality. Don't forget, Andy Ruiz is an American fighter. Mm-hmm. Come up on the amateur ranks. So he's a seasoned fighter.
He does have a great amateur pedigree.
Yeah. So he's seeing it all happen. He's seeing how all these fighters have made this money. I mean, and lost it all. One thing I take off my hat is to Tyson Fury. He made $8 million when he fought Deontay Wilder,
mm-hmm.
and he donated his money back to the homeless. I mean, that's something. $8 million.
He says he does.
Yeah, but
he says he would.
And he had a lot of problems, a lot of drug issues, alcohol, and mental depression, a lot
mm-hmm.
of stuff that was wrong with Tyson Fury, and he's come back. And
he came back from the depths. Now that's the question. He had the mental toughness to come back when he had gone down.
I mean, he went down not only down in life itself. When he went down that 12th round
to one of the hardest punches boxing's ever seen.
Wilder went down. He was out cold in the 12th round. If I would have brought the referee, so as he hit that. Boom! That canvas, I would have said, "That's it."
Honestly, and you would have been, and no one would have blamed you.
No one would have blamed. But Jack Reese went over, and Jack Reese said,
"He said, wake up."
He said, "Wake up, buddy." Fine. The guy jumped up.
I'm here.
Come on. So that means Tyson Fury does. You got to take my hat off to him. Not many guys can do what he did.
I don't think anyone could do what he did. He got knocked out cold and popped up after 5 seconds. That was insane.
Yeah. But then he comes back and
landed 3 more big shots
and signs a lucrative contract with Top Rank, is it?
Yes, sir. With Top Rank in ESPN.
Yeah, and a big deal. I think it was something like $80 million.
80 million pounds.
80 million pounds. Okay.
Whatever that is. $100-some million.
Yeah, that's like
a lot of money.
That's like Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz
80 million pounds.
80 million pounds. That's great. I know, man. I love it. I sent my mom a picture. You know, I go,
this guy here.
He looks so good.
I don't know if he looks good, but he would look good that night.
He looked good. His hands look good.
The speed, and the smarts. I mean, you got to move the head.
It's not bodybuilding, baby. It's boxing.
A moving target is hard to hit. He was moving just like Tyson Fury, moving constantly and throwing combinations. And you can upset anybody out there.
Absolutely. I know. I texted my mom. I said, the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. My mom's, is Hispanic, so she gets so excited. And I thought she'd be real excited. She sent me back because I sent a picture. I sent her that picture. And she said, he looks big and fat. That was all she said back.
What?
I said, yeah.
Well,
because
right.
he does. Because he's right. Because that is, you know what? That's what makes it so good for boxing. That's what makes it so viral. I've had 2 instances, 2 weeks in a row, where my friends who don't watch boxing, who don't care about boxing, send me text messages. And that was Deontay Wilder's knockout and Andy Ruiz putting down Anthony Joshua. This is big. This is viral. This is exciting.
Oh, yeah. It is good for the sport. You got to go online. You see the picture of him, Andy Ruiz, jumping up in the air. He's actually up in the air. I mean,
264 pounds up in the air.
270 pounds there, jumping up in the air after knocking the guy. I would be jumping to the sky myself.
You'd be trying to.
If I become heavyweight champion of the world. Where nobody gave me a chance. He was, 11-1 underdog?
11-1 underdog.
You know, I mean, Tyson, Buster Douglas, when he knocked out Mike Tyson, he was a 40-1 underdog.
42, yeah. It's
and
crazy.
You know what? But what happens is now, let me ask you another question.
Good.
Andy Ruiz become heavyweight champion of the world. Will he do like another Buster Douglas, knocks out Mike Tyson, comes back, and he gets knocked out by Evander Holyfield?
How is he going to be able to handle this?
Only that one win. Just like Leon Spinks, he beat Muhammad Ali, become undisputed heavyweight champion with only 7 pro fights under his belt. 6 months later, he loses a rematch. That's the history for Leon Spinks.
But hey, no matter what, he was heavyweight champion of the world.
He was heavyweight,
and he beat Muhammad Ali, and we're talking about him in 2019.
And you're talking about this guy, Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz is that guy now.
And it was also like the fighter I refereed, Big George Foreman, when he knocked out Michael Mora. That was a punch heard around the world. A guy 45 years of age, weighing like 250 pounds, and comes in there and knocks out Michael Mora. I mean, George Foreman was like, and the whole world couldn't believe it. A man at 45 years of age, 20 years after conquering the heavyweight division, 20 years prior, 20 years later comes back after being a minister, being a preacher.
Yes.
Come back. He was praying to God. God gave him the answer. Made him heavyweight champion of the world.
Michael Mora in the right hand. Bam.
That was it. So just crazy things that happen in boxing. And I tell you, those people will say, "Oh my God! If I would have known this would have been an upset like this, I would have put all my money on the table on
Andy Ruiz, 11-1, man. Yeah, I'd put some money on it too if I knew."
But anyway, that's boxing for you guys out there. I know you Brits out there watching. My condolences to you guys.
I know, honestly, because
you guys fight, I feel like my fighter is dead. He's not dead. He's gonna come back again.
We hope so.
He will come back like any other fighter.
This is where we find out, baby. This is where we find out what he's made of, and that's what makes boxing amazing. Anybody gets knocked down. Anybody gets knocked out. Everybody but Floyd Mayweather loses. And guess what? It's not about how hard you get knocked down, like you say every time, right? It's about how you get back up and how you face these demons.
Exactly.
And we'll see what Anthony Joshua was really made out of.
You know, Muhammad Ali, they call him the greatest. And they say, he's the greatest because he did come back for some losses.
Yes, sir.
But he fought fighters that has reputation, fighters that were really A-class
Yes,
fighters.
sir.
He would not fight the Palookas. He was fighting Ken Norton. He was fighting Larry Holmes. He was fighting Jerry Quarry. He was fighting Ernie Torres. He fighting big top-notch heavyweights in boxing. He beat all those top-notch fighters. That's what makes you a great fighter. So I say that there these fighters out there that are not capable of being top-notch, and Joshua was beating guys that were not really A-class. They were just okay fighters. Mm-hmm. And people are saying that Anthony Joshua is like another Muhammad Ali. I kept saying, wait, don't go that far too fast. Let's give him some time. Let's see what he's got. Let's fight some tough opposition, and then we know what's going to happen.
But you know what? I think what really proves what he has, what will really prove what he's made out of, is how he comes back right here.
Yeah.
It's not about who he beats or who he loses. It's about how he comes back from this loss. This is what proves what we're made out of. Or maybe he just has a style that is going to get beat by Andy Ruiz every time. It's possible that his style.
It was like Manny Pacquiao and
Marquez.
Marquez
had Pacquiao's number. He wasn't on the level of Manny Pacquiao.
He wasn't getting the score for the judges up until he said, you know what, I got to knock this sucker out. And he put Pacquiao to sleep. But Pacquiao, you know what? Talking about that, Pacquiao still coming back.
Oh, baby.
40 years of age.
That's what we're talking about. Getting knocked out and getting back up and fighting again.
And
now he's fighting a pay-per-view on July 20th
with
every fighter in boxing on the undercard now. I can't even believe the names on that.
Fighting Keith Thurman.
But Keith Thurman, undefeated welterweight champion.
But that's what boxing is all about. We're going to a little extra time today because this is getting kind of exciting. And you fans don't want us to turn off the channel. Want to keep on going, talking
keep
about
watching it, baby. Keep watching
it. And you guys love the show. Somebody subscribe. Go on to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Spread the word out there. Forward it and then share it.
To those of you who are watching on Facebook Live right now and who watch every Monday and tune in every time to watch us, thank you. We appreciate those fans. We appreciate those immediate views, and we love the opportunity to come on live for you guys. It puts us on that tightrope. It makes us exciting. But those of you who didn't get to watch it right away, who didn't get to watch this show, or maybe can't watch it on a Monday, that's why we have YouTube. That's why we're on Audio Boom. That's why we're on iTunes. That's why we're on Google Play. That's why we're on Spotify. Please subscribe to whichever one of those you normally listen to podcasts with, the podcast app on iTunes. Any of those. Please, and especially YouTube, if you enjoy watching us. I don't blame you if you don't, but if you enjoy watching us,
what do you mean you don't? They do.
I get sometimes they don't. Maybe we're not their type, Joe.
They love it.
I think we're somebody's type. I mean, if I'm not your type, Joe has to be. But either way, if you don't, if you prefer to watch us, please go on YouTube, please subscribe, and please share on every media outlet that you have. And we make sure, because we don't do this enough, we want to thank our sponsors, La Mansión. We want to thank Into Boxing, and we also want to let you know, if you want to be a part of our family, if you want to be a part of the sponsorship family, please contact us at 702-722-1353 or message us on any of our outlets on any of these videos, and we'd like you to be part of the family too, because we do appreciate it.
Somos familia. We are family. Guys, like I always say every week, keep your guards up at all time, protect us at all time. But before we say all time, let's give the fans a little bit more time.
What do you want to give to them? What do you want to talk about, Papa?
I want to keep going back to this.
To Andy Ruiz Jr.?
Man, he deserves a lot of credit. What he did.
I got a question.
What?
If he blows up, like if he gets if he neglects his training in the rematch and like Roberto Duran and he eats all that, would you be able to tell?
Yeah, I don't even better, but he will find out.
You can tell in the ring.
He will find out that he will make it. He got it, but he said already at the press conference. He said he's going to work real hard to be ready. He's going to look like a Mexican Anthony Ruiz. He wants to look like Anthony. He wants to be
let me ask you this.
He got time to work. He can work that little stomach. The little stomach,
the little stomach.
Oh, the big stomach.
Joe.
He can work that. He can work that stomach off. He can come back.
But does he need to, Joe? This is a serious question because there's some guys who, look at
some guys will say, you know what? I'll just
look at Chris Arreola. When he lost weight, he looked worse. Some guys that carry their weight well, maybe that's his best fighting weight. We don't know.
But you talk about Chris Arreola. He's another Mexican that had a good shot at becoming the first heavyweight.
Yeah, he thought he was going to do it.
But you know what? Maybe Ruiz will give the battle of heavyweight champions.
The battle of the. I would eat so many tacos and burritos at that fight party. I swear to God, I would be. You catch me? I'm no joke. My diet. I got no diet on the on the Andy Ruiz Chris Arreola super fight. You can catch that.
Or they're going to have all the concession stands. All going to be tacos.
Los Gordos would be the name of the super fight.
Los Gordos.
Los Gordos Enormos. I would.
There'd be all the concession stands. All they'd be selling is tacos that night.
Tacos. I'd be buying them out. I'd have tamale girl and a taco girl in my house for that fight. Yeah. That'd be exciting, man. Wow.
No question about it. But you know what? Our guy, engineer here, producer Charlie
our everything,
Carrillo,
man. AV, our everything.
He's grabbing a little bit about it.
yeah.
He's also
he's on the Andy Ruiz diet.
Mexicano from Tijuana. Ándale, vato.
Oh my God, the Mexicans are celebrating and they should.
Yeah,
they finally. They've been. Let's be honest. They're the biggest fan base in boxing and have been for quite some time. For them to conquer the heavyweight division is a big deal. It is exciting and it should be celebrated.
We were going to celebrate today with some tequila here.
Yeah.
But we said we better not because it's not our style.
And maybe afterwards, cervezas and tamales.
Guys, keep your guards up at all time, protect us at all time, and remember, we're fair, but we're firm. You take care, guys. God bless. And remember, guys out there, listen carefully. There is still hope. Don't feel like it's the end of the world. Anthony Joshua still has a shot. He's young, 29 years old. He'll be going a long ways yet. Take care. God bless. Catch you guys next week.
Fair but firm with the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez for all of Las Vegas.
Come on, guys. Let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez. Fair but firm.